Hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025 at 12:49 p.m. in the afternoon. Excuse me for yawning. Excuse me. So, I think I went to bed at like 12:45 or 1 o'clock this morning. I wanted to try to go to bed sooner than that. But I ended up I think yeah, it was like 12:45 or 1 o'clock. And it took me a while to get to go to sleep. And then I don't remember what times excuse me. I think I may have woke up probably like 6 o'clock this morning and used the bathroom, but I don't remember. But I definitely woke up at 8 o'clock excuse me, and used the bathroom and got more sleep. And and after that, I the final wake up was 10 o'clock this morning. You know, so this morning for so-called breakfast, I had what do you call that? Two miniature Rice Krispies treats, and also like a cinnamon toast crunch cereal bar, and I had two cans of the pineapple juice, and I had two smaller bags of the chips. This was from the care package. Most of it was from the care package, but the only thing that I ate that wasn't from the care package was the well, I got two cans of the it was like canned smoked oysters. And so the second and last can, I had it this morning. you know I think I don't know if I ate about 10:45, this 10:30 or 10:45, excuse me, 10:30 or 10:45 this morning, that I ate. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna well, I'm starting to feel a little bit hungry again already. But why? Because the food being processed. But yeah, those chips was like the supposed um like the white cheddar simply Cheetos. I had two of those smaller bags. But so for dinner, I'm gonna have um the leftover um seafood boil dinner from yesterday evening. Well, I ate the corn cob, and I think I ate two pieces or like two halves of the potato. So I guess I ate one potato, two eggs, and the corn, and like probably about half of the shrimp, and most of the rice, and like one piece of the sausage. Excuse me. So I have like one potato or two halves of the potato, and some of the rice, and butter. Yeah. I mean, some of the rice and the rest of the sausage, like the shrimp and the rice and the sausage. I ate both eggs yesterday. Um, so yeah, today I'll just have leftover the other potato, the rest of the sausage, and the more shrimp and the rice. They might have egg remnants in there, But I was like disappointed that I'm like, this is not butter. This is freaking margarine. It was disgusting and gross. But I'm pretty sure if it had butter, it would have tasted much better, you know. But they sprinkled some seasoning on top the butterfly shrimp that was turned out to taste really good, and what they call crack sauce. Um, it was nothing but margarine with a little bit of probably cayenne pepper or something, But I don't think I'll ever get that dish again. But I might. I don't know if I might try another item. I mean, another dish from that restaurant. Maybe at another time. Not. I don't think anytime soon. I don't know. But excuse me. I'm still dreaming about the seafood boil place from when I went to Omaha, Nebraska. That was so good. Like I'm still dreaming about it. But the crawfish didn't taste right, but the shrimp tasted really good and everything else tasted so good. But yeah, but fiery crab is pretty good. Even though I can't really afford their when I gotta be on the streets, I can't really afford their seafood boil dinners or whatever. But the lower price stuff, the stuff that costs like, well, they've been raising the prices, so if it's like the you know, like the fish dinner or something like that, that might be like 12.99 or something like that. I might get that. You know, and I don't eat there that often. You know, but but for me to have been like poor enough that if I just pick off a few side items, like one time I just got like the noodles and the sausage for like $8, you know, from Fiery Crab, and it was still very good. I like I think they call it house mayo sauce. I like that, you know, but I would like to try their seafood boil one day, you know, but yeah, I'm because of the perps. I'm not gonna say, you know, where I got, but the way that I'm not gonna say what restaurant where I got the food from, But knowing the online perps, they will do some freaking hunting and digging to go and search for what I ate and where and how much it costed, so that they can go and gossip about it and try to have me wrongfully banned from the restaurant and doing the most. Excuse me. So, but I did have a plan to not spend any money at all today, but I had just enough funds. See, I was originally scheduled to have to check out of this hotel tomorrow, but I had right on the nose just enough funds um for an additional hotel night. So instead of checking out tomorrow, I can stay here until like the day after tomorrow, and hopefully, if I can see about getting help with funds for more nights. Excuse me. So I haven't counted all the money in cash that I have total, but in cash I should have approximately, more or less, maybe a little bit over $20. But I could be wrong. But I gotta count and check. But I was gonna be setting that aside for whenever I need to do laundry. You know. But but the now I have like $1.90 in the bank left over. You know, $1.90 left over in the bank, and probably like maybe approximately $20 in cash. You know, but today I'm still feeling the sleep deprived feeling, and still feeling the effects from the sleep deprivation. You know, with my heart feeling heavy and my heart feeling slowed. You know, and my mind still feels kind of off. Like my brain isn't processing correctly because of feeling the effects of the sleep deprivation. But ow, I felt a little bit pain in my right knee for a little bit. So I don't know if I could or should take a nap, and you know but I think for a quick little light lunch or whatever, I'm gonna try to eat that little lunchable. It's like a pizza lunchable that I was given with the care package. you know so I don't know if I can try to take a nap right after well, no, maybe not. Maybe I can eat the little pizza lunchable and then take a nap, or try to take a nap. And I would like to work on more writing today and more writing tomorrow. you know and like, my mind, because of the sleep deprivation, my mind feels slowed. But I got more sleep the past couple of nights than the previous night. But I wish I could. I would like to get to live stream tonight or this evening, but I don't know. If I will. I don't know if I would live stream or not. But it's like if I live stream, then you know people. It's like some people they don't. I mean, some people they only come during my live streams and they don't see the regular video. They don't come for the regular videos or the shorts or the community posts or nothing. Some of them just do strictly, you know, acknowledge me during the live streams. And the stalkers, they attack me the most and the worst during the live streams because that's where the most of the support is at. That's where most of the support is at, you know. But like every day I feel bad that I don't get to have a job or work or like have my own. I mean, get to have a job or whatever, and um, but I'm trying to push myself to be more persistent and consistent with my writings and hoping that they will pay off. Because I've been getting little to no recognition, you know, and and oh, excuse me. So I heard that oh, the reflux. Excuse me. Sorry. So I heard that Amazon is expanding their services and expanding their business here in New Orleans metro area, and also like in Jefferson Parish, in Elmwood they have a location. And also I heard that I don't know if they already got one, another new Amazon place in Slidell. And so I saw that they're paying 18 that they have a bunch of more job openings and they're paying 18.50 an hour plus lots of good benefits. For the Amazon drivers, but those DSP drivers, they participate in gang stalking. Now, I think it was after their workplace mobbed me off the school job in Pensacola when I had the temp service and was staying in a motel and, providing for myself. And, excuse me. And then shortly after their workplace mobbed me off the job, I tried, I think it was not once, but twice. Went all the way, it was in an area where the buses don't run in Pensacola. And it was like a $70 round trip Uber ride to and from for me to try to go get the job. And I had an interview scheduled. Excuse me. And they stood me up and played me. And even when I was here in New Orleans, like 2017, 18, 19, one of those years, and at least twice, at the old airport, trying to get job opportunities where an interview is scheduled. And then you go there for the interview, and then they look at you like you're crazy, like there's no interview today, what you talking about? And even other people were like, well, hey, we came for the interview. Like, they're like, oh no, not today, not today. You know, so they've done that to me in Pensacola as well. With me trying to drive for Amazon DSP, but then I heard some scary stories. At first I heard they were paying $15 an hour. Now I hear that they paying $18.50 in full time or overtime and benefits and stuff. Excuse me. If I could get something like that, I wouldn't need to. Hopefully, wouldn't need to have to ask for help. You know, for donations to survive or whatever. But the problem is, though, ever since when when I started, like last week, once my sleep was fine, and then once I started to look into when, I'm not gonna say who it was that gave me the idea again, to look into, seeing about renting a vehicle to drive for Uber. Now the perps have been sleep depriving me. They've been using that tactic to sleep deprive me, on purpose, so that they can lie and say Candy's not mentally capable of driving, when I do know how to drive. I have a license. But they do this to us targets, you know. But some of them still can have vehicles and drive anyway. So ever since I went to look into the Uber, driving for Uber or whatever, they've been perping with the sleep deprivation tactic, and I've been having problems sleeping like all week. you know so that and also, um you know they say that my Uber background check is complete, but then it's still on hold because of the fake criminal charges from being illegally swatted. Otherwise, if it weren't for the illegal swatting incidents with the perps illegally swatting me and making fake police calls and having me wrongfully arrested and the fake criminal charges to have to fight, I would have been good to go. I would have been good to go. All I would have needed to probably get online and live stream and ask for help for enough funds to rent the car, maybe, and I don't know if I would be held back from renting the car because of being homeless. But but it seems like being homeless, you're blocked from doing everything. For how could you get out of your homeless situation? Excuse me. It's like a lot of people, once you end up homeless, then you're stuck in that situation. you know and I even try to ask, well, what side hustles can people do, while being homeless? And like, what side hustles can you do? But I mean, there are plenty of things that I could do on my own or know how to do, but I'm being hindered because the government wants you to have a license to run this business and that business. And I don't know, well, I don't have a permanent place to live, so I don't, and I also, if you did have a place to live, like, I don't know about the cottage food laws in the state of Louisiana or in the city of New Orleans, but But if they have people that you're targeting and have a business, the Freemasons would tell people in society to not support you or don't buy from you, and they would try to conspire to have your business wrongfully shut down, you know. But I don't think that, well, I mean, the perps try to discourage me, but I don't think that they can completely stop me from writing, you know. But they make fake bad reviews on all my ebooks, and then Amazon Kindle or whatever, they do nothing about it. Or they allow the fake comments to stay there. And I heard that the stalkers get paid to do this to the target, you know. And they say Amazon is one of the companies that's in on it. And I've had my share, and I'm pretty sure I got my videos, not so much here in New Orleans, but I did recently see an Amazon driver purple with one headlight within the past week or two here in New Orleans. But there was always always a lot of Amazon DSP with those vans, illegally perping me with one headlight, and they would have mean attitudes towards me and everything, Excuse me. So yeah, that the Amazon experience. One thing I'm scared about the Amazon job is like, I heard that you got to just keep working, and then you don't get to have any breaks, not even a bathroom break, and and you have to just drive for 10 hours all day, dropping off packages and stuff, and and I heard that that you don't get to have anywhere to use the bathroom. That scares, that right there, it really scares me, to not get to use the bathroom, Now, I heard in Greenville, South Carolina, I heard this about this chicken farm job that they had a lot of homeless people working at. It was like a job where I heard that they work you like a slave and don't pay much. And the chicken farm job, that you're not allowed to use the bathroom or take any breaks at all. I can't afford to have jobs like that, and my body and my mind and my disability won't allow me to have, jobs where I can't get to have a break, So, but but yeah, with the airport job opportunities, I mean, 2017, 18, 19, if I try to apply for certain jobs from Craigslist or Indeed.com, and then go and say, well, I had, an interview or whatever, and then one time they had a ghetto perp lady that try to play psych games and mock and laugh at me for not having much work experience, and but yeah, when other people come on the job too and say, well, hey, we heard that there was supposed to be this interview, and then they're like, what interview? We don't know what y'all talking about or whatever, Excuse me. Or they would have jobs that say no experience necessary with this job or that job, and then you go to the interview and they tell you that you won't get hired because you don't have experience. But I'm like, well, y'all say in the ad, no experience necessary. We will train, you know. So they said that because of, the illegal swatting from the May 9th incident from at the library in Metairie, that is the only thing that's holding me back from, well, I don't know yet if there's any finalization on if I can be eligible to at least be eligible to get to drive for Uber Eats or whatever, or deliver. I would rather do Uber Eats or delivering packages like courier, not driving people. Because they will try to set you up. So, and then I have to relearn the rules of the road again, and also, but I mean, and also, try to refamiliarize myself with the car and driving again. You know, but wow, with the Amazon job, they also lie and make it like they hire anybody. With the Amazon delivery, Amazon DSP, they try to make it like they hire anybody that wants to work. But the fake criminal charges is holding me back from getting a job. And when I get jobs, you stalkers illegally find out where I'm at, trying to get me wrongfully fired and permanently banned forever. You know. So, and the issues that I've had at the libraries because of the gang stalking, that taints my opportunity to ever have to get to work, at the libraries or have a library job. They definitely would not want to hire me because of, you know, my experiences, with the libraries. And I couldn't work at the libraries. So how am I supposed to get a job to work anywhere? In the library, most of the time it will be quiet. I mean, I wouldn't be against trying to go and put books back in the order, like restock books and stuff. But that would be something that I can do with my disability. Now, in Pensacola, they have certain temp service jobs that I try to get. Even here in New Orleans, I have tried certain temp service jobs, and I don't even get a call back. But the gang stalking is worse with temp service jobs, where I end up. I mean, and then they try to blacklist you, and blacklist you from work. I missed that shift gig job opportunity. I wonder why they shut that down, and they stopped offering. Like, they had this one incident that happened where it was a gang stalker setup, and something that had nothing to do with me that I got falsely accused of, and they secretly blacklisted me from the platform. I used to try to be a flagger with premium parking, And no matter how sleep deprived I was, if I could work 4 or 5 hours and trying to, do the flagging job with parking for events, and then and then they and then premium parking, when I confronted them about why they stopped giving me jobs, and I'm like, am I blacklisted? This was before I found out for sure. I mean, I had some knowledge about being gang stalked, but this was before I found out for sure. And the man at one of the downtown offices, he's like, there is no blacklist, excuse me, but they stopped suggesting me job opportunities. And then every time I try to apply to work for Shift Smart or this app or that app, it's like they don't recommend. I end up not being recommended jobs, And then me being homeless, well, since I'm in the hotel right now, excuse me, I could have my bags and my belongings here. Or homeless or not, if I had a car, I could leave my belongings in the vehicle, But like, if you have a job, it's like they don't want you to bring even a backpack. They don't want you to bring any bags to work. With that job at the Seville Quarter in Pensacola, Florida, they workplace mobbed me off that job. Excuse me. And with Seville Quarter, that man, what was his name? Mr. Doug Mitchell. He was an abusive, narcissistic, fake perp, and he would not allow people to work overtime. And it's like, well, how could I be expected to get out my situation, And he was a perp with a narcissistic personality, and was always, serving me, like for lunchtime, he would serve me wrongfully punish me and perp me with undercooked burgers and stuff. Like, you giving me a burger that's like burnt on the outside and crazy super raw on the inside. And he would pitch a bitch fit at us for bringing a backpack to work. Even the guys that work, and I was the only female doing the janitorial, cleaning the bathrooms and stuff. And they said that I had the bathroom smelling and looking so clean and beautiful, But I got workplace mobbed off of that job, And they used to perp really hard with that job. It was in downtown, like Seville Quarter was in downtown Pensacola. And that street, at nighttime, they try to make it like a fake wannabe miniature version of Bourbon Street. In Palafox, downtown Pensacola, they try to make that a fake wannabe miniature version of New Orleans Canal Street, But it was much shorter. Well, the downtown was much shorter, Because, Canal Street in New Orleans is like longer and more stuff, But I'm not gonna lie, like, the food in Pensacola, I really feel like is better than a lot of the restaurants that I've ate food from here in New Orleans. I thought New Orleans was supposed to have the best freaking food, but eating out almost every day or ordering food almost not every single day, but almost every day. You know, um, I'm so like I'd be like disappointed. Like a lot of the food in Metairie, the restaurants, I'm like, it's just what people say mid, average, I guess. Excuse me. And same thing with regular New Orleans. I haven't tasted like with me eating almost every day. You know, it's rare for me to find restaurants with foods that really do amaze me. You know, and I heard that foods ain't been the same since before Katrina, or these restaurants went downhill after Hurricane Katrina. Now you go to a restaurant and they have no problem serving you hard rice or dried out rice, or if they don't know how to cook red beans or whatever. But sometimes the food I eat be like, okay, it's just good. But I don't get to, on rare occasions, I get to find food that will really amaze me. But eating mostly every day, it's just good. Or sometimes, I mean, like when I ordered last night and what I'm gonna eat for later on today, felt like torture going through that meal, and make me feel like, damn, I made a mistake and ordered the wrong kind of plate of food. Like never again. Excuse me. It felt like, I can't wait to be done with this plate of food. It's disgusting. I really don't like it. You know. But yeah. So, but I feel like it seems like the food on the West Bank tastes the best. You know, like they have certain people who are rave on about certain restaurants here in New Orleans and talk about how their fried chicken is so good or their this is so good. And I'm like, it's just a teeny bit of heat, like a teeny bit of spice, but where's the flavor? I don't taste any doggone flavor, you know. Or something might be too damn greasy, you know, or not drained off. Or, if you order some fries and they're not drained off. But that I'm from New Orleans, but they got a lot of food that I don't know how to cook. I never a day in my life, out of the 42 whole years of my life, had the opportunity to learn how to make gumbo. But I've seen a few little videos or whatever. And I don't have I don't have experience with cooking gumbo. I never made gumbo before. I never well, me being homeless, I haven't really got to learn how to make gumbo. But excuse me, but I have made my own homemade jambalaya from scratch before, years ago. And it's like all these food that I see videos of people cooking that I wish I could try, and that I wish I had my own place to live so I could see what it's like to experience, to try this and try that. Like been hearing people talk about smash burgers and smash burger tacos and stuff. I would like to try those. Um, or if I don't know what it's like to have. I would like to try beef bacon. I would like to try beef bacon, But you see, with my situation, like the stalkers falsely assumed that I be eating good and this and that, whatever. What I got yesterday, I split between yesterday and today. If I had to be on the streets, I couldn't get to have that. You know, I couldn't be able to get to eat that. The plate was big enough that I saved the rest of the food for today. I put it in the refrigerator and I'm going to have it today and spend no money on food today at all. You know, and I don't order like that all the time or eat like that all the time. But out of curiosity, I wanted to try, the dish, and was disappointed. But, you know, I'll suffer through the torture for dinner this evening, but at least I have something to eat. But yeah, never. I don't want to order that again. You know. But and as far as making your own seafood boils at home, I've seen lots of videos of people doing that, but I never had the experience of doing it myself. Um, and I don't. I did say yeah. I don't have really. Excuse me. Experience of barbecuing on the grill. You know, but I know how to cook something on the stove or bake it in the oven. But I and if I mean I had to relearn how to use the crock pot again. I don't have one at the moment being homeless, but um, you know, but I tried to learn how to make food in an air fryer. I had only one time experience with that, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know. But yeah, um, but it seemed like with me being homeless, as far as sometimes it feel like when I see other people's videos, I'm like, wow, I'm really missing out on stuff I wish I could try or I wish I could have. But then other ways it seems like, you know, but people talk about New Orleans having so much soul food or whatever. But it's like, well, it's hard to find places where I could have me some yams or something. And like fresh yams, not canned. Or hard to find places where they got mac and cheese or whatever. But if it do be mac and cheese or pasta, it'd be like nearly $30 for a dish and be seafood pasta, that I can't really afford. And if you do get a affordable like $15 plate of pasta, it'd be nasty. I wish I could tell y'all some of the names of some really good restaurants that I've tried, but then I know that the perps will slander me and make sure I don't get good business. So I won't say, you know, the places, well, I won't publicly say the places where I've had really good food and the rare occasions where I've had like some really good food. But yeah. So I mean, well, for me to be here and like stay day by day, rather than a whole week or a whole month or any, for me to have any housing security. You know, I have to, stay here every day like as if it's my last, because of, the funding and the donations and the support not being guaranteed. And also, I never know what happened. See, the perps they illegally swatted me and were trying to get me wrongfully kicked out and banned from here yesterday. Because they were upset that I exposed them about the fake gift card prank, And one person told me that I should throw the fake gift cards and everything away because it might be, have witchcraft attached to it. But then again, I thought that maybe I should save it for any police evidence in case they're trying to set me up, But maybe I should just throw the stuff away and then pray, I don't have a way where I can burn it, Because like a lot of people say that if you want to get rid of witchcraft, you gotta burn it, but I can't burn it. I just throw it away. Excuse me. I'll just throw it away. But yeah, like I'm tired of them playing with me. They just leave me alone, and they won't. So I don't know if it might be this afternoon or this evening for me to for this video to upload, because I know I did almost an hour of rambling on and talking, But what time is it? Yeah, it's almost, well, it's after 1:30. It's 1:41 at the moment. It's almost 2 o'clock. So I'm gonna get off here and yeah, I don't know what I could do to earn my own living and survive. And as I said, the fake criminal charges from being illegally swatted, that's held over my head and setting me back from more job opportunities. But even if it weren't for them, for that, a lot of people will say that my lack of recent work experience is holding me back from, and also me being blacklisted and targeted. The Freemasons and the perps, they won't let you work, they won't let you have a job or whatever, and then they lie to people and say that you're lazy and don't want to work and that you just want handouts. But the thing is, because you don't want to sell out and you don't want to turn evil and you don't want to do dirty work with blood money, But I love y'all. And I'm going to get off here and I'll talk to y'all later. As I said, I don't know if I will live stream this evening or not. But I will do a regular video tonight if I don't live stream. But I love y'all. I'm going to get off here.